Hello, my name is Ben.
And my name is Josh.
And welcome back to FPL Graduates. It's a Game Week 19 review, and it's been a big game week, a long game week, probably the longest game week of the entire season in terms of longevity of it. It's been, a week and a half maybe of just football and football and football. And what a few days it has been for Game Week 19. Huge scores, some huge hauls, and still got one more game currently going on at the moment, but we're kind of seeing who's getting the points anyway from that game. I know you've got it in the background, Josh.
How
are you doing, mate?
Not too bad. It's been a while. It's been weird. We haven't live streamed in quite a little bit, so it feels a bit new again. But yeah, it's been a good little week. It started off very, very well, sort of fizzling out towards the end. Obviously, I haven't had El Ghazi come on yet. So, but yeah, it's been a decent week for me. What about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, at one stage I was panicking about my FPL and I was all over the gaff and I was making templates of -8s and -12s and whatever all over the gaff. But overall, it's looking good. Very happy with it. And I mean, we've been going live on all other sort of social medias recently, haven't we? It's been popping off, guys. You've been going mental, sending in your teams to the Instagram. Me and Josh spent, what was it, probably about 12 hours each in the DMs.
It was a long old day, weren't it? It was like over 100 messages of everyone's teams. We managed to get through them in the end. But yeah, we appreciate everyone's love and support. We nearly hit 300 followers on the Instagram, which is crazy because it's only been up and running really about a couple of weeks. So that is sick. But shall we crack on into the review of our teams for Game Week 19?
Yeah, I'll go for mine first, I reckon. So this is what mine's looking like. We see the 86 points at the moment. We'll refresh it. And hopefully if it loads. 91 points. Target coming in clutch, boys. After the bonus points, obviously it'll be on 94. I took a -4 this week to bring in. Who did I even bring in? Cresswell and Antonio, which massively paid off. So it'll be a 90 score overall with no chips played this game week. I think it's a cracking week for me, to be honest. In goal, we'll start off with McCarthy, 1 pointer. It could have been better, could have been worse. I think he was one save off getting a save point, wasn't he?
And Harvey Barnes, but he scored in like the 95th minute to take away an extra point, which is quite annoying.
Bit annoying, but you know what? We'll move. Look at the defence. Oh, my word. 10 points from Cresswell. Could have potentially got so many more. Target with 15. I wasn't expecting that before
Could be
tonight.
18 as well.
It probably will be 18 at this rate. He's, after coming off against City, banking a really jammy 6-pointer.
How that happened, I'll never know.
Bags a really jammy 6-pointer, and we go with the 9-pointer from here, and it's looking wonderful for Matty Target at the moment. James Justin, the OG, I've had him since week 1. I mean, you said it from the start, Josh, that you'd get replaced, and he's just proven all the doubters wrong this season. I mean, I can't ask too much more of a 14-pointer, and currently in the team of the week, the Kings of the week. Dallas, 2-pointer. I wasn't expecting too many returns from him. I was hopefully expecting some sort of attacking return. I wasn't expecting a clean sheet. The biggest disappointment, though, of the double game week is my captain choice this week, Mohamed Salah. It's been over a month since he's returned now. His last return was against Crystal Palace off the bench. So it's been a month and maybe even 15 days since he's last got a return starting in a game. Disappointing with the 8-pointer. But the only thing we can take away from that is the other big hitters didn't get really, really high scores, which is a good thing. I was Fernandez, vice captain, 8 points. I mean, if I switch that around, it's a few more points there. But you know what? We'll take the one return there. The guy who's coming out the team this week, Mahrez.
About bloody time.
About time. I mean, there's been other fires to put out, and I think I'll take Mahrez having a 1-pointer because I brought in Antonio and Cresswell this week. I think that's fair enough. Son, 5-pointer, probably I'd say quite lucky to get the 5-pointer. It was from a corner kick, so we're lucky to get away with that one. But they're playing Liverpool next week, and I think Son will really thrive in that game. Harry Kane, 9-pointer. Again, I don't think it was ever in doubt. He was always going to score against Sheffield United. And yeah, a lot of people overlooked him. And he's one of the better captain picks to have had this week, Harry Kane. Antonio, 18-pointer. In hindsight, this is the one you should be captaining, really. But you know what? I really will take the 18 points from him. On the bench, Carl Walker-Peters with 1 point. And Guisa with a surprising 8-pointer coming out of nowhere with an assist against Man United. I thought he was really good against United. So, you know what? It was bound to happen once this season that Anguissa on my bench would get some points. And then Brewster obviously didn't get any points. So overall, it's going to be hopefully projected 94 score and then 91 with all the -4 taken off of it. Josh, what do you make of my team for this week?
Yeah, considering you played no chips, it's a very good week. Obviously, Salah's the big disappointment, as you mentioned. But I think going into the game week, I didn't think James Justin would get 14 points. I didn't really see him keeping 2 clean sheets, definitely maybe 1, especially facing Chelsea. But Leicester have shown that they're some of the front runners this season. And I think we have to take Leicester into consideration as probably a top 4 team now, especially looking forward to this season. Like, they look very good. I know Vardy's come out and we'll discuss about that later. But yeah, he's looking very good. Obviously, none of the big hitters really returned too high. We've seen Bruno, KDB, Kane get 8 or 9. So it weren't really that massive in terms of the the triple captains and the captains this week. But yeah, defensively is where it was at this week. It was a very decent week.
Yeah, I think if you had teams, well, all the teams who had pretty much double fixtures got at least 1 clean sheet out of the 2, so you really benefited from that. And wow, Leicester, I mean, I did predict Leicester to beat Chelsea. I mean, on my Super 6 I predicted a 2-0 win for Leicester in it, and it obviously came in. So for me, it wasn't too much of a surprise, but for a lot of people, Chelsea were expected to win that one. I mean, quality team, it's a quality week, and I'm sure there's going to be so many real high scores around. I really will take a 91. I believe it keeps me in and around my position at the moment. I think it's a small red arrow for a 91, I think, for me this week, which is
it's mental.
Crazy that a 91-point week is a slight decrease. But I think looking on my live FPL at the moment, yeah, my old rank was 494,000 and my new rank is going to be 500,000. So a rank percentage change of about 2%. So, you know what, for a week where I didn't hit any chips or anything like that, I really will take that.
Yeah, solid week for you. I've just heard, just seen El Ghazi's come on for the last 10, so it's all fingers crossed here so that he can hopefully do something for me. I thought going into this week, I thought he would have been one of the sure bets to return, but he's been benched twice. Obviously, he did have COVID, so that's a bit annoying. But yeah, I'll go into my team. Let me just share the screen quickly. It was a little bit better than Ben this week, but I did play my triple captain chip, so I'll show it up now. Hopefully you can see it.
Yeah, here it is.
There we go. So, yeah, in goal, obviously, it's Alex McCarthy. It's basically been there pretty much every single game this season. 1 point, as I mentioned, Harvey Barnes sort of dropped him out, which is a bit disappointing. But, you know, Southampton defence can't return every week. So, James Justin, like Ben and Cresswell, 24 points combined. I'll take that on a fat stinking budget. John Stones was the big one. When I saw that KDB got an assist for the first goal to John Stones, I was in dreamland. And then Stones goes and gets another one. It's great limbs, 27 points. Crazy haul from him. Never will happen again. Bruno Fernandes, 8 points. Son, 5 points. Both decent returns. Probably something similar to what I was expecting. I didn't see Salah or Bruno returning in the Anfield clash. Son, decent. He's on corners, and Tottenham are scoring quite a few corners at the minute, so it's a good little bit of repertoire to his game. Triple captain De Bruyne, 24 points. I said last week, I can't remember if it was on our live or if it was on Glenn's live, that I'd take between 20 and 30. Got 24, and it really should have been a lot more. He got obviously taken off on the 58th minute or something along those lines. He had an assist to Cancelo hit the bar. It was good. It was good to watch. I was happy with it. He didn't blank, so I can't really complain too much. Mo Salah, on the other hand, 2 blanks in a double game week. It's almost unheard of for Mo Salah. Liverpool don't look great right now. But I'm not getting rid of him. Obviously, KDB is the main one that has to go because of his injury. El Ghazi, like I mentioned, disappointing, but hopefully I'll see how things go. I'm not sure if I'll take a hit to get him out because I've got a bit of impact from the bench, shall we say. So Patrick Bamford, again, a bit disappointing. I think all of Leeds' assets, they were all disappointing. I think a lot of people thought they'd do something against Brighton and they end up losing. So bit surprising. And then obviously the main man, Mikel Antonio, an 18-pointer up top. He's probably the main, or other than Stones, probably should have been your captain this week. But for me, I don't like changing my captain out of the premium assets. They're there for a reason, and that's why they are there. And then a little Rob Holding on the bench with a 6-pointer. Just in case El Ghazi didn't play, probably should have played him ahead of El Ghazi. But you never know. And I always do like playing my attackers ahead of my defenders. I just feel like obviously there's more chance of them returning. And then I think my rank boost, I'm up to around 600,000. I haven't checked it since the Villa game has started, so I'm not sure yet, but it's from about 1.2 million up to 600 to 500,000 ish. So I'll take that on a budget with 114 points overall, potentially a little bit more with El Ghazi coming on.
Yeah, absolutely chasing me down right now. I mean, I was looking at our FPL Graduates leaderboard, and I was looking at our mates, friends at uni sort of leaderboard, and mate, you're about 20 points away from me again. And this is the theme that happens every single season.
Literally.
Josh is coming after me all the time. I'm panicking with my Maras in my team, and some of my players not returning, and yeah, it's always makes for a really intriguing battle. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna get tight come the end of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, it happens all the time. Like you'll see next week, Ben will score bloody 100 points, and I'll be there on 70 or something. It always happens. It's just back and forth. But without even the rivalry aside, I think from where I was, I think 3 or 4 weeks ago, about 3.3 million, I've managed to chomp it down to about 600k, which goes to show that anything can happen really, as long as you have the right players in. You don't take too many hits, because that's what I've stopped doing. I've looked this week, I might take a hit, but I'm just staying away from it, because when I have taken a hit, it hasn't really benefited me too well. So it's interesting to see. But yeah, El Ghazi needs to hurry up and score a goal, get a penalty or something like that.
Yeah, both of us been on the rise, really. I mean, what was it? A couple of months ago, I was sat at 1.5 million, something like that. So it's definitely doable, even at this stage in the season, to get that rank really up. And
a long way to go.
We did mention it in the few lives that just keeping at it and keeping persistent, and you will get results. We'll take a couple of questions before we kind of look at what we're potentially outlining to do in Game Week 20. Glenn, FPL Grads, here at last to save my night after the present day. He's out the cup in the FA Cup, isn't he? But is he still?
I think he's still in the FPL Cup, as am I. Yeah, we both made. I think it's the furthest I've ever made it through in the FPL Cup. It's a bit surprising.
So Liam says Lookman, Souček, Barnes or Maddison benched. I'm guessing for the next game week. I'd say you can't bench Barnes or Maddison in the form that they're in right now. Can you?
I wouldn't bench probably either Maddison or Barnes. I think Barnes is a bit overrated. He always has been on FPL. You'll see, for example, the assist against Chelsea. How he gets granted that assist, I will never know. He scuffs the shot and it just falls to Ndidi. It was a bonkers assist. And Maddison for me is by far the better player, and you should not bench Maddison. But we'll talk about Vardy not being in the team in a little bit. It might have quite a big impact on the attacking assets for Leicester. Lookman's just scored against Man United and looks like Fulham's best threat. They have 2 decent fixtures going forward. For me, I'll probably bench Souček out of those 4, which is surprising for most, I'd imagine. But every time Antonio plays in that West Ham team, Souček has failed to get a return. So as long as Antonio's playing, I think benching Souček is probably the best way to go.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. FPL United says -4 for KDB replacement, or just go Souček or Ayling. I'm going to say it straight off the bat. Take the -4 if you still have De Bruyne in, and that is the case with your team. I think taking a -4 for De Bruyne out, good move in my opinion. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. I think,
good while.
So he's going to be out for a few weeks. He's missing some crucial games for City. So definitely look to get some sort of replacement for him in.
Yeah, I'd say that for like any injured player. If your player's out injured and they're going to be out injured for a good while, take the -4. It'd be worth it because you know the player's not playing.
Yeah. So Talha says best strikers under 9 million. Well, based on current form.
Go on, you fire one and I'll fire one, and we see how far we can get.
I'm gonna say under 9 million. There's a few good options. Antonio is definitely one of them, but in Moyes' press conference, he says he's still not at full fitness. So whether he limits his minutes slightly over the next couple of weeks could potentially be the case. But in that West Ham team, Antonio is that focal point, and the way that they're playing right now, he's a crucial player to them, and he's playing really well. So I'd say that is the main standout striker for me under sort of the £9 million bracket. I'd also say Danny Ings if he stays injury free.
Always the way.
That is always the way. And well, Southampton don't score many goals when he's out of the team, and then back in the team against Arsenal, they didn't look too threatening, but you could see Ings wasn't back to full fitness today. So once he's back to full fitness, I'd say Danny Ings is probably a really, really good option to have.
Yeah, I think for me, from my point of view, other than the two that Ben's mentioned, I think Edison Cavani is a good option to go for. He seems to be almost nailed in that United team right now. We play a lot better with him than we do without him. And you've seen the sort of goals he gets, like against Fulham. He'll get a goal out of nothing, and his work rate is class. So maybe a Cavani if you don't have Bruno, which would be crazy. Who else? Patrick Bamford potentially, probably fallen off a little bit recently. Same with Leeds, to be honest. They haven't really been performing as they used to, but he's still probably a good option with the amount of chances Leeds create. They have some decent fixtures going forward. Ollie Watkins returned tonight. I think you've got to mention him as well because he's been scoring some decent goals, looking at around 6 million. But other than that, it's not a lot of good shouts. I wouldn't go with Martial. I've seen a lot of people, especially on the Insta DM, say about Martial. He's probably the most out of form United player that there is right now, so I wouldn't go for him. Willian Jose from Real Sociedad is joining Wolves, I've heard. So I'm keeping an eye on how he settles in at Wolves with Jimenez being out because he is a proven goal scorer. Yeah,
he's another big striker, isn't he? He kind of suits the way Wolves play. Lots of crosses into the box, so he could be really good. I'll look out for his price. I want to say he'll probably be around the £7.5 million bracket. Could be an option to go for, really. Glenn says the best duo on YouTube. I hope you're doing well, Glenn. Hope you're doing well. Emi Martinez clean sheet. Is it confirmed yet? Is it confirmed that
it's close? It's close. On mine, it's the 91st minute, and I'm a bit behind. So.
Oh, I'm looking at the score on a live football app. It's nearly there. It's 4 minutes added on time, so it's a couple.
El Gazio and goal inbound.
Do you do lives on Instagram? We're going to be doing a live next week on WD
Sports. Yeah. We'll be doing maybe something we can bring towards Instagram, but obviously we have loads of followers over on TikTok, so that's the main place we do our lives. I know a lot of you have come from TikTok, something that we'll be looking forward to the future. We'll be looking to post more on Instagram in the future.
FPL Note says worried about wildcard, big 110 points and gain 600k. We're seeing a lot of them about, aren't we? We're seeing a lot of them about. Glenn didn't play his bench boost and had 20 points there. That's crazy.
I reckon you could get probably a better bench boost though if you try and properly stack up for it.
Yeah. Foden or Gundogan, says Jack.
Big question. Foden played 90 today against Cheltenham. Gundogan came on for I think 10 or 20. So just through that, I'd probably opt for Gundogan. But then I've seen someone on Twitter, they made a thread of where Gundogan plays when KDB isn't in the side, and he plays a lot deeper than what he usually does. So I don't know. I'd probably opt for Foden just because he's so much better to watch, in my opinion. But it's just pep roulette.
Yeah. Got a couple more point scores coming in. 134 points from Sam, 111 from Footy Edits. An update on El Ghazi coming on as well.
Love to see it.
Glenn picking up on the fact Josh doesn't listen to me when I'm doing my team. You know what? I'm used to it. I'll literally sit there and talk to him about my team, and he just won't take any notice of me.
Not true. Not true.
Another 115 points there. That's great. Salah has to go, blood. I don't know whether it's as cut and dry as he has to go, because there's a lot of big assets out at the moment, and it could just be the fact that Salah's the only big one that's left that could potentially get any points from being fit at the moment.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I'm not getting rid just yet. I think obviously they do have Spurs, which is not the best fixture for Liverpool. But after that, I think it gets a little bit easier. Liverpool are going to start scoring eventually. Like, this is not going to continue for much longer. They're a great team, some good players in there, so he will start scoring. And in his defence against Burnley, since he came on, he looked like the one who was going to score the most. So I'll happily keep him in. Yeah,
I think we'll see if Salah blanks against Spurs. Potentially, people getting panicking for them to have West Ham and Brighton in the next two. And then a couple of difficult fixtures against City and Leicester. And then that starts their really nice run of fixtures going into the end of the season. They've won the best run-ins, to be honest. So definitely keep Salah in your thoughts, because he could, even against the big teams, he's pretty fixture-proof. In the past, maybe his form right now is pretty low and his confidence low, but it takes one game and he'll be back. The best City option to go for now, De Bruyne is out.
Flip a coin if it was like 6-sided. It's so hard. I've been literally just reading stats upon stats and information. It's difficult. They're all pretty much performing at the same rate. I think the most explosive is Foden, but he's played 90 minutes against Cheltenham. So would you risk it? I'm not sure. Like, from your perspective, Ben, as a non-City midfielder owner, who would you choose?
So for value, it's got to be Gundogan. But yeah, I'd say right now that the Pep is preferring to go Bernardo Silva and Raheem Sterling in his attack. So out of those two, I'd probably have to pick one of them as one that I'd think would start in the Premier League right now, because Mahrez obviously seems out of favour at the moment with Guardiola after some really poor performances from him recently. So I'd say Bernardo Silva and Sterling are probably your best bets to go for in terms of if you want huge point returns. But I'd say even like having a double City defence is probably better to go for than playing that Pep roulette, because, I think Cancelo is nailed on to start now. Walker's out injured, and I mean, the left back spot isn't nailed. I think Pep's going to keep the same centre back pairing because they're working together, and why change something that isn't broken?
Yeah, even today he brought on Ruben Diaz when they were 1-0 down. So it shows the amount of faith he has in him. For me, I was thinking about taking De Bruyne out and then taking a -4, which I don't like doing, but maybe taking out Bednarek, as I already have the Southampton defence, and going for Cancelo, and then I could just choose anyone. I think Paul Pogba has been one of the ones that I was looking at just because of his insane form right now. He's like pretty much carrying United. They're playing a similar sort of team that has seen Pogba return double-digit hauls against. He's done it against Burnley. He's done it against Fulham. I could see him doing it against Sheffield United, someone who's going to sit really deep. So maybe him, but Maddison, there's so many options. Like, it's crazy.
Full time. 2-0.
Yeah. El Ghazi nearly got an assist if Douglas Luiz could just put his foot through it. I was actually fuming.
El Ghazi blank and a target return. Come on.
He's got 2 points for a double game week. I feel like I'm a Mo Salah owner. Shake my head.
or a Sadio Mane last season. I know
God, that was a great video.
Should I put in Aubameyang for Son? I'm going to say no. I think Tottenham could do some work against that Liverpool side.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people take out Spurs assets. I almost like keeping them in for the bigger games. I have more faith in them in the bigger games than doing the little games, especially for Son. And Aubameyang is also 75% chance of playing, just because the reason is personal reasons. So I have no idea why, but maybe if Glenn's still here, he could let us know. But I'm not sure. So bit of a risk.
Are you guys considering a wild card? I think it's safe to say for both of us, it's a no right now. We're waiting and seeing. I think there's potential for game week 23 to 27 to include like 3 Man City double game weeks. So
yeah,
that's what I'm looking out for and keeping an eye on. And as soon as those big fixtures are confirmed and those big juicy game weeks are coming around the corner, that's when I'll probably pull the trigger on the wild card. But I don't see it anytime soon for either of us. Really, we're in an all right spot with our teams.
Yeah, there's not many fires to put out, and definitely not enough to warrant a wild card. So, for me, I'm pretty happy with my team right now. As long as I obviously make those changes and hopefully like players pick up form. The main one for me is KDB, El Ghazi, and probably Mo Salah. They're the 3 biggest fires to put out in my team right now.
So, Glenn, you're still in the cup. Good to see it. Newcastle are the team to target. This is an interesting one.
I agree. I totally agree. Newcastle look terrible. A lot of people asking should they get Callum Wilson in. I wouldn't stay so far away from Newcastle right now. They are in terrible run of form. Form-wise, they're the worst team in the Premier League. Like even worse than Sheffield, in my opinion. It's good as FPL players because it's nice having those teams that you can just. I'll captain against. Do you know what I mean? I think that's one of these situations. I can't see them picking up form unless Steve Bruce gets sacked, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who they've got next, Newcastle, but I imagine that any team that they come up against will be feeling confident against this Newcastle United side right now. I mean, when you have a team in this much disarray, you see Steve Bruce coming out and saying they're not playing how I want them to play and they're not playing the system. There's obviously something going wrong there.
Rafa Benitez has ended his contract in China as well, which is like interesting. Lots of speculation.
Arsenal fan TV and troops and everyone like that, they've just been like, can we have him end of season?
Really?
So I think he's going to be really sought after as an interim sort of boss for many clubs that are struggling. Let's see if we can find another interesting one. Do I bench Robbo versus Spurs?
Not a chance. Not a chance.
No. Big game player he is, Robertson. He gets assists, doesn't he? So
yeah.
I mean, even owning him, I'm probably steering clear of it because he's so expensive.
I was looking at getting him a couple of weeks ago, but obviously since Liverpool's form, to be fair, if you own a Liverpool defensive asset, you probably wouldn't be too mad because they've kept a few clean sheets in their poor run of form. It's only against Burnley where it's really gone like bad. So I think Robertson's still an okay option. I can't see Liverpool conceding too many goals. I don't think they'll win. I think Spurs will probably nick it, but I still think you should keep him in the team purely for the attacking returns that he gets.
Martinez, Tao, Saka and Justin on the bench for a bench boost. I mean, you're being silly, mate. Of course that's a good one. Of course that's good.
the amount of I've got 150 points is that good. That's just
yeah. So Glenn says that that Newcastle have Leeds next. Bamford captain. You know what? I'm going to skip that one.
Bamford captain.
Bamford. No, I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
No, I wouldn't captain him against them.
Smith Rowe's got to be the biggest bargain on the market for 4.4 million. I have to agree, but looking at the performance today from Arsenal, I think there are still frailty. He didn't play, no, but I feel like there's still frailties in that sort of Arsenal team, and if they have a bad day, then they're not gonna pick up any goals. But I think, he's one I'm targeting and one I'm definitely looking at. I don't know about you, Josh.
Well, yeah, for the money, you can't really go wrong. Like 4.4 is a bench player at best. So I think, he's a good bargain. I wouldn't say he's the biggest bargain. I think there's a few other players, maybe not that cheap, but they've been doing just as well, if not better. If you look at Lookman, he's got 5 million, so 0.6 more. I think he's a better option than Smith Rowe right now.
Yeah, I mean, both are good options. I think if you've not got the money, then Smith Rowe's got to be the one to look at. Liam, well done on getting 52 points this week. That's a tremendous score.
Double decent.
Ewan's asking whether we'll any teams you want to send us on Instagram. One of us will get around to replying to that. I mean, I've tried being more active on the Instagram. I mean, I think since I did a TikTok live and all the teams came flooding in, I think what was the message you sent me? Why have we got 200 more followers on Instagram?
Yeah, it just because I didn't know you was live, so I was just like, and then I looked at my phone because I was just playing FIFA. Next thing I knew, I've got 99 plus Instagram notifications. I was like, "What on earth's happened here?" But
Oh,
yeah,
the
no, it's good to
FPL
see.
Graduate
Oh
Army.
wait, if you
Never
ever
underestimate it.
if you ever have a question or anything, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, chuck it to us, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. If it's not too many messages like we had the other day.
I mean, it took us a while to get through. I'm not going to lie. There's a period of
Nearly
like
a day,
24 hours where we were taking
Yeah.
24 hours to reply to people. So if we're slow in replying, we're probably overwhelmed with all of you lot sending us messages. It's been crazy. Like, we didn't expect anything like that. So, I mean, thanks for sending the teams in. It gives us ideas of what to do as well. I don't know if it's giving you ideas.
Yeah.
It's certainly given me some ideas of what I want to do with my team. Let's have a look at another. We're getting the messages flying in at the moment. We're getting messages flying in. Sell Robertson and get Cancelo in. He already has Stones. What do you make of that?
I would. There is no better defense than Man City right now, and they go on a good. Well, their next 3 fixtures is West Brom, Sheffield United, and Burnley. I can see them keeping clean sheets in all 3. So I'd definitely do that. I'm not saying Robertson is the bad option. I'm just saying you could save money and probably get more points, in my opinion.
Yeah. Best KDB replacement. I'm going to say it has to be, if you don't already have Bruno Fernandes, what are you doing, first of all? But the replacement,
I'm seeing people on the Insta who don't. I was just like,
yeah, it's
bro.
crazy. It's crazy. I'd say based on the run that United have got as well, they've got quite a few really nice fixtures, a couple of difficult ones in there, but ones which I think that they'll definitely score at least a couple in. I think Rashford's a really good option to go for. And I think Ole's starting to almost prefer Cavani over Martial, because obviously when he plays Cavani, he's got to drop one of Martial and Rashford. So I think Rashford and Cavani are good options to replace KDB in that sort of bracket. In terms of other players, a City midfielder, maybe. I think a lot of people are gonna go for Gundogan.
Would you go Sterling?
Sort of thing. You know what? I think he's probably guaranteed to start. So, given the fixtures, why not take a 3-week punt on him? And the worst thing that can happen is, like, Rashford gets a goal or two, and Sterling, he's going to be starting every game. So, I don't see no reason why
it's gonna be interesting. I think there's a lot of options, isn't there? Like we've seen, I think I would have gone Maddison if Vardy didn't get injured, just because how well Leicester have played recently. I think Maddison still is probably a very good option. I just don't want to put all my eggs into that basket when Vardy's gone out. I'd rather see them like how he plays first. So it's interesting for me. I'm either gonna go a United asset, so that could be Pogba, maybe Rashford. I've watched Rashford though in recent weeks, and he's looked bang at form, similar to Martial. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, someone put in the comments, best replacement on Rashford, or should I keep him? I'd say keep Rashford for now, because obviously KDB out. There are limited options right now in who to go for. A lot of questions on KDB. We've got another one here saying KDB for Barnes, Madders, or Grealish, lads. Out of them 3, they're probably the most prominent one and the most informed one has got to be James Maddison. He's looking in some of the form of his life right now. Really banging in goals, being instrumental. So out of them 3, I'd say Maddison. I don't know what Josh thinks. I think he's just leaving and then rejoining because he's lagging a little bit. Sorry about that. Josh's internet is moving like Willian. Yeah, I mean, he's had 6 shots on target this season, Willian, and Josh's internet really didn't want to hit the shot on target on being in this live stream right now. So we got another question here. Do you know when the 5 yellow card thing resets? Grealish is still on 4. I believe it's soon. It's somewhere in January, I think, or early February. I'm not too sure, but keep an eye out because we were all very concerned about Bruno Fernandes, weren't we, in this double game week, and how he could have potentially missed out on the Fulham game if he got a yellow against Liverpool. So, yeah, keep an eye out, obviously. Josh is back.
Yeah, sorry about that. Wi-Fi back home is not the one.
Yeah, we're Glenn slandering it. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll take that on a budget.
Target on my bench with 18 points. Painful, but I think it would have been... Maybe I can see why you probably benched him because of the City game, but Villa are so good defensively. You surely had to keep him in there.
That was one of the best defensive performances I've seen from a team against Man City before Dean Smith got... Well, that goal, in my opinion, was very, very lucky to happen. In my opinion, that is offside because he's interfering with the play from an offside position,
Yeah.
But I can see why it's given. Yeah, very unlucky.
Next one, Souček or Gundogan. I think we're probably both going to agree with this in Gundogan being the better option.
Yeah, I would. I've just seen the Matt Target assist to the Watkins goal. It looks well offside. Like, I'm not even joking. Like I think the defender touched it. That's another debatable one. I'm not even sure about that.
Come on, debatable assist.
Like, the crosses come in. Fernandes is like not really cleared it, and then Watkins has tapped it in. But when the cross comes in, he's offside.
I've seen it, but we'll take it on a big fat honking budget. I love it. I mean,
absolutely fuming.
In FPL, you take every assist you get, and if you don't get given it, complain. What else we got? We got Lewis piping up about Captain Timo Werner. I mean, there's a reason why he's bottom of our uni lads FPL sort of league table. I think he's still bottom, isn't he?
I haven't really been looking at the mini leagues. I've just been focusing on myself.
I'm gonna have a look. Oh no, he's not bottom. Somehow, I'm not so sure.
Bottom? Joel
is bottom. Yeah, Joel's bottom because he hasn't played for weeks, so that's why. We'll take a couple more questions then, I guess, and then we'll have a little look at what we're planning on going into maybe next game week and wrap it up, I reckon.
Yeah.
Who got the bonus points in Villa versus Newcastle? I mean, I'll say who got 3 bonus points, and you can say who got 2 and 1 bonus points.
All right, let me check because I hadn't actually looked. I'm usually in charge of the Instagram post for that, and I haven't done it yet.
So, well, let me just say first, 3 bonus points goes to, drumroll please, Matt Target.
Yeah, I'm sure he's probably on 3. Yeah, here we go. Matt Target 3, Concert and Cash with 2. So that's how it'll end.
Yeah, let's have one more. For the comical value, Josh doing the traditional Steve Bruce, focusing on himself.
Yeah, of course. we love it.
Love that. Okay, we'll go in and look at my team for next week currently, and what I'm planning on doing. So this is what it looks like now. The captain will not stay the same. That'll probably be switched around. It'll probably be a captain on Bruno Fernandes.
You'd be mad not to.
The most sensible option, in my opinion. I mean, Sheffield United even conceded a goal against Plymouth today. Plymouth. I mean, we both have seen how good Plymouth are. Sorry, Braden and the SNS podcast boys. But yeah. Defence looks really solid this week. I like the look of fixtures. I'm potentially even thinking about putting Kyle Walker-Peters in that defence, double up on Southampton. Sorry, Glenn. I'm thinking about it. Obviously, Mahrez is going to be gone. He's going to be out, and it's going to be potentially someone like James Maddison or Barnes or Gundogan in that slot there. And then I'm going to transfer out. I'm thinking, crazy as it seems, Stuart Dallas out for Cancelo. It's definitely going to be one of my defenders out for him. I think Cancelo is probably the most sensible option to go for. Maybe even Stones and Diaz as well. Pretty sensible option. So that's what I'm looking to do. Get Mahrez out. One of my defenders out. It's going to be a -4. I'm going to take again, but I'm happy to take them if I'm continually getting pretty decent scores across the board. On the bench, of course, again, is at the moment Kyle Walker-Peters as it stands. Could obviously change. I could be tempted by bringing out one of these other players. I'm not sure who I'd take him out for really, but it's tempting nonetheless. Josh, what do you think of that team? Is there any areas that you'd be looking to improve on?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can hear me because my internet connection is absolutely weak, but Mahrez would be obviously not performed in weeks. So yeah, him out. I think I think Lee's defense has never really been the one to get.
Yeah. The Leeds one I agree with. It's just the attacking returns I was going for with Dallas. I mean, since I brought him in, been phenomenal, been fantastic, got me a return pretty much every single week. So it's probably going to be a tough one to get him out. But looking at his fixtures, I mean, Leicester away, Everton at home, and then you've got Crystal Palace and Wolves coming up. I don't see too many clean sheets in there. And I see Leeds potentially slowing down a little bit where they've been this season. So that's what I'm focusing on doing. Have you got your team ready to go up, John?
Yeah, I'll try and share it. Apologies for the Wi-Fi connection over here. It's absolute shambles. I'm not even going to lie to you. But yeah, hopefully you can see it now. Move on to pick team. Give me 2 seconds. Here we go. So yes, replacement for me is going to be De Bruyne because he's out for like 4 to 6 weeks. It's tough because I'm unsure what to do in terms of whether I take out a defender and take a -4 or whether I just switch him out just straight up and get like a Sterling in that midfield category. And I think that's an issue for me, to be honest, more than a positive. Having too many options is not ideal. I've been looking at Pogba. He's a very good option to have right now with when United are facing those teams that sit back. Probably better than Rashford in my opinion. In like literally every United game, I see how they play in Rashford. Although he did score against Sheffield United in the previous fixture this season, but I'm more toying towards getting maybe Cancelo, Bednarek or Holding out, and then bringing in a Pogba or Gundogan, Foden, someone, Maddison. There's loads of options. I'm not certain yet, but that's probably the one that I'd go up for the most right now.
Yeah, I think we got all that. It was a couple of times we cut out the sound a little bit. Sorry about that. Obviously, Josh's internet is playing up, and he's not going to be enjoying his Foot Champs weekend later. That's for sure.
Definitely not.
Yeah, we can pretty much wrap that up there. We're going 40 minutes already. Seems like nothing. Thank you everyone for leaving comments, leaving likes, sharing it about. It's been a very active YouTube live stream. We're continuing growing on that road to 500 subs. It's we're picking up traction now. We're picking up traction and we're getting there. Obviously, you lot do a madness on the TikTok. You lot do a madness on the Instagram and Twitter. So thank you for all of that. Anything else we need to plug, Josh?
Monday's live stream. I don't know if you can hear me. It always freezes before I'm about to speak.
Yeah, we got the Monday live stream. It would be when's the game week deadline? It's on Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be Tuesday because there's midweek games this week. Yeah. So
deadline on my birthday on the Tuesday. We're buzzing for that. It's going to be hopefully a cracking birthday game week. Is what I'm hoping for. So make sure you tune in on the Monday. We'll be doing lives on Instagram, on TikTok, whatever. We'll be doing some, I'm sure. So make sure you keep an eye out. As always, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I've been Ben.
I've been Josh.
And we'll see you
later. Have a good game week, everyone.